Hello, everyone, and happy Tuesday. It is me. I am bringing you your inspirational vitamin for today, and we are actually going to be reading in Hebrews chapter 12. I was listening to this podcast recently, and they talked about this scripture and sort of reframed it for me in a way that I never really thought about it before, and it was very cool and very convicting. And so I wanted to share that with you guys as well. So we are going to be reading in Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. Okay, it says, "Therefore, since we also have such a large cloud of witnesses surrounding us, let us lay aside every hindrance and the sin that so easily ensnares us. Let us run with endurance the race that lies before us, keeping our eyes on Jesus, the source and perfecter of our faith. For the joy that lay before him, he endured the cross, despising the shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God." So, what I thought was cool about this scripture and what was new to me was the first part where it says, "Let us lay aside every hindrance and the sin that so easily ensnares us." And I think my whole life I had just thought about these things as being the same. Like everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. I was like, oh, those are the same. But they're not. And I think the way it's written really shows that. Like the second thing is very clear, like it's sin that entangles us, but it is not always sin that hinders us. I mean, sin definitely hinders us, but I think the reason the author made the distinction between the two is because oftentimes it's like good and bad things hinder us, whether it's sin or not. And I think it's important to think too, just like, we know the sin, or we will know the sin that entangles us, more or less. But I think we need to take some time and just think about, like, what is it that hinders? What is it that hinders me running this race? Because it's not always like sin. And a lot of times it's just like the little things that happen day-to-day life, good and not as good things, that can hinder us from keeping our eyes on Jesus and running the race. And I just wanted to say that, and maybe we can just take some time to reflect in our own lives what that is. But I also wanted just some encouragement that in this season of life, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully. I don't know. I just think we need to get back on track to keeping our eyes on Jesus, to fixing our eyes on Jesus, who is the author and the perfecter of our faith. That there is nobody else that can do that for us. And I know that life seems hard and bad and like nothing is going my way when my eyes are not focused on Jesus, when it's focused on the things of this world instead. And so I just wanted to give that encouragement as well, just to keep our eyes focused on Jesus moving forward. Thanks.